today we are checking our homework that goes with lesson chapter 10, lesson 4 on surface area of triangular prisms. So you should have a worksheet that looks like this, and I've given you plenty of space to show your work, so I've recreated it here on this board. So as you know, I like to put the dimensions in as we go so that you can actually see what I'm talking about. So our first triangular prism has some dimensions. This edge here is 14 kilometers. It looks like it's back here 6 kilometers, but I'm going to let you guys know that actually belongs to this right there, the base of the triangle. This here is 6 kilometers from here to here, and then they are showing us the height using these dotted lines, and I know it's the height of a triangle because it shows that right angle, which makes the height perpendicular to the base. It forms a right angle. So that height is 5.2 kilometers. So that should be all the measurements we need in order to figure out the surface area. There is one more here, and that's 6 kilometers as well. So I started it already, and I would give you guys a nice hint to shade in your triangles first. So those kind of stick out for you from the beginning, and then you'll be able to see the rectangles once you're done with your triangles. So the front and back are triangles, and they're exactly the same. So I don't see a base here with this triangle, but I do see that they gave me the dimension for the base here. So I know the formula for triangle is base times height divided by 2. It doesn't show me a height here, but my height is here. So the base is 6, the height is 5.2, and I divide that by 2, and I get 15.6 kilometers squared. The back of the shape is also a triangle, and that would be the same exact triangle, which is 15.6, so there's no need to redo that computation unless you want to check it. The right side is here, the left side is here, and the bottom is here. So I'm going to start with the right side, which is a rectangle, and I can see that this rectangle shape is here. So that would be my length. Also here and here. So here's my rectangle. So they've given me the length here and then the width here. So the length is 14, the width is 6, and 14 times 6 is 84. The left side, I have to figure out the dimensions here, and it looks like the length is here, which corresponds with the length on the other side, so 14 here, 14 here. Then my width would be here, and it's also here. So it looks like it's 6 kilometers. Okay, so it's the same dimensions as the right side, which is 84. And then the bottom, let's see if I shade it in a different color. I can see it's all in here, from there to there. So again, the length is 14, and this here would be my width, which I don't see a measurement here. So I'm going to find the corresponding measurement on the opposite side, which is 6 kilometers. So it looks like these 3 rectangles have the same exact measurements. I'm going to add these all up on my calculator, and when I do, I get 283.2 square kilometers, or kilometers squared. So that's the surface area for number 1. Moving on to number 2. You can see it's still a triangular prism, but it's shaped a little bit differently. I'll start by adding on the dimensions so we can go through them together. Here's a triangle and the base is 2.5 feet. This side of the triangle, which isn't the right angle, is 4 feet. They are showing me the right angle right here. So the height of this triangle here is not given here, but since this triangle corresponds with this one and they're congruent, which means they're exactly the same, the height of the triangle is given on this one, it's 3 feet. So if this is 3 feet, that must be 3 feet as well. The length of this figure is 6.5 feet. And those are all the dimensions they've given us. So I'm going to call the front and the back are triangles, which are congruent. The base is 2.5, and we said the height was over here. So base times height, 2.5 times 3 divided by 2 gives us 3.9 square feet. We have the back triangle, which is exactly the same, so I'm not going to go through the same computation, but you could do it if you want to double check. Okay, the left side is right here. So let me shade in these triangles so we can get them out of the way. You can see those. Okay, so this left side here is a rectangle. The dimensions are 6.5 feet by 3 feet. So 6.5 times 3 is 19.5. Okay. The right side here, I'm going to shade that one in, is right here. And it looks like we have this length here, which matches 6.5. And it's hard to tell, but because of our perception, but this would be the other side, 4. So it's 6.5 times 4, which is 26 square feet. And then the bottom we can see here, and we'd have 2.5 is the width and 6.5 is the height. So 6.5 times 2.5 gives us 16.9 feet squared. When I add all of these dimensions together, my total is 70.2 square feet, or feet squared. So that's number 2. And then number 3, we have a prism that is kind of flipped over compared to that one. The dimensions are, I'll start at this bottom triangle. It looks like the base is 23.2 inches. The height from here to here would be 24 inches. The side of this triangle here is 16.4 inches. It looks like we have a dotted line with a right angle, which shows us that this is the height of a triangle, and that would be 12 inches. And down here we have the side of this triangle, which we'll see is also the side of one of those rectangles, is 17 inches. Okay, so let's step back and take a look and see what we have here. I'm going to highlight our triangles. Those will be congruent, which means they'll have the exact same measurement. Let's see, yeah, this whole thing is the triangle here. All right, so the top and bottom triangles are the same. I can see the base is 23.2, the height is given to me up here. So the formula is base times height, 23.2 times 12 divided by 2. And when I calculate that, I get 139 2/10. So that's the bottom triangle or the top, either one, they're both the same. I'll add that next dimension. The front, I am gonna count the front as, let's see, this rectangle here, that's the front. So as we can see, we have a width here, and this is the height here. So 23.2 times 24, yep. 23.2 times 24 is 556.8. The right side, I'm gonna